Oh, we got a new menu. Dawntrail, baby, let's go. Hey everyone, Jocular Claymore here, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. The new expansion has arrived. I'm super excited to play this. I can't begin to tell you how much Final Fantasy XIV means to me personally. I started playing around 2019-2020. That was when the Shadowbringers expansion had dropped, and this game has just been incredibly special for me. It's helped me learn more about myself. It's helped me find community, and I have to say that the Final Fantasy XIV community is probably the best gaming community out there. It's just overwhelmingly positive. People are happy to help you, no matter how new you are to the game. It's got a wonderful, supportive community. It's incredibly welcoming for those of us in the LGBTQ plus community. Anecdotally, this game has helped a lot of queer people discover more about themselves, specifically trans people like yours truly. This game has helped me grapple with mental health struggles. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm super excited to be starting this playthrough of Dawntrail with you all. Needless to say, there are going to be spoilers for everything in Final Fantasy XIV before this point. So if you haven't played A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker, I highly recommend that you go play those or get yourselves familiar with them. Before I hopped on here, I was watching a recap video by someone named Derrick Skipx. I'll put a link to their video in the description below. It's just a fully comprehensive recap of all the events of Final Fantasy XIV leading up to Dawntrail. So yeah, I'm just excited to get started, so let's do it. So this is my character. Her name is Odd Khatun. She is a femro, or a female Rogadin. This is her look right here. As you can see, she is a level 90 paladin. She was my first character. Funny story, she didn't start off as a femro. She started off as a male Aura. And her backstory now is that she was trans and didn't come out until later. I gave her the horns as kind of a nod to the Aura heritage, if you will. And she looks more like a tiefling, and she looks so fucking cool. I love it. So we're gonna log in. Oh, that's not bad. 35 players in queue. Yeah, I remember when Endwalker dropped, the number of players reached the thousands. It was wild. This is also exciting in the sense that this is an MMORPG, right? And I've never done a playthrough of an MMO before. So I'm really excited to get into that. And for the occasion, I'm using an external keyboard because I'm playing on PS5, as you can see. And just having this external keyboard makes it a lot easier to type out messages and chat with the party, Alright, so as you can see on the top left, we have a new main scenario quest, or MSQ, a new world to explore. Alright, so it's been a while since I've hopped on here. I've been logging in and out to check in with my retainers and things like that. They're basically characters who go on quests for you and get you, goodies and money, things like that. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have to head back to old Charlian. Alright, so as you see this character right here, Wook Lamont, she is going to be a central character in Dawntrail. Basically, we're going to travel to her homeland, TURAL, also known as the New World, to help her and others. We're basically entering a tournament to decide who becomes the next ruler. So that'll be interesting. Also, fun fact about her, her voice actor, Senna Breyer, is transgender, and she seems awesome. I already loved her performance from the post-Endwalker quests, so I'm really excited to learn more about her character. But there you go, representation matters, right? So our quest marker is here, so we're gonna want to go to Valdesian Annex. Got it. Yeah, so obviously the the lore and the amount of storytelling in Final Fantasy XIV is massive. I don't claim to know everything or be a scholar. I did have to watch a recap video to remind myself what's going on. I have a general idea. Like, I remember a lot. And if I don't remember, I'll just let you know. There are plenty of people on YouTube who, do extensive lore videos and things like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. Ojika Sunjika has a message for you. Okay. Welcome back, Odd. I just had word from Aaronville. Aaronville is a bunny boy, also a childhood friend of Wokalamat. It seems he's managed to secure passage to TURAL aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? It should only take a moment. I love also that the music changes depending on what expansion you're playing. So now that jingle is from Dawntrail. Okay, so we're going to the main hall, right? Okay. Also, there are cutscenes with voice acting, but many that are not voice acted. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading, more reading than I'm used to in a playthrough. It'll be fine. Okay, so let's wait here at our destination and see who shows up. I love my character so much. So cool. Ojika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Aaronville himself. There they are, Aaronville and Wokalamat. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Gleaner's Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for TURAL. There will be other passengers, researchers and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Aaronville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in TURAL, yes? We've not forgotten. The nation of Tuliyollal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become Dawn's servant. Oh, thanks for the recap, Alphino. Alphino. In addition to that, Alphino and I have another objective. Yeah, obviously they're siblings. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. Yeah, and I'll say it again just in case, because there are many characters, many events to know by this point. So if you're not aware of any of this, it would be much easier for you to do a recap or play it yourself, catch up if you haven't done so already. But yeah, I just want to make sure that you're all included in the experience and not feeling left out, By visiting TURAL, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sort of insights that might help our friends in Ilsabard. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest all due attention. I love Alizé, by the way. She's great. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Cryle? Yes. As far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servants. Yet, oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter. Is she wearing that earring right now? I recognize the clover. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. I'm also really happy and excited to see Cryle taking a more active part with us, the Scions, and her new class will be Pictomancer, which is really cool. It's like you got painting abilities and you can bring your creations to life. Kind of like, I think Epic Mickey did that, and sort of Splatoon vibes as well. So I'm really excited to see her in action. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I'm part of this expedition only because the Third Promise has commanded that I serve as guide. Yeah, so real quick, TURAL is heavily inspired by, the real world cultures of Mesoamerica, so the indigenous cultures of the Americas, the Aztecs, the Mayans, cultures like that. And the Golden City is a reference to the real world myth of El Dorado, the City of Gold. So I just love that world building and with real life inspirations. Still playing the part of the stoic servant, I see. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. Girl, I ain't changed my mind. Usually I like to go with the shorter, more succinct response. Hoist sail and let the wind take us as she pleases. We won't make you concerned by saying you're talking about it. I go wherever adventures lead. Yeah, let's go with this one. You're gonna pound your fist? Oh, okay. You get used to the body language of everybody. Well said. We won't get far wallowing in the shallows. Right then. If all are still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Da, 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 da. All right. So we gotta speak with Erinville, who is just right outside. Here. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
God, I love her voice.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, so I love how the developers described this expansion is that, at this point, we've been saving the world 1,000 times. So now is really the chance for the Scions to go on vacation and relax a little bit. So that's kind of the premise of Dawntrail.
Do not be so quick to relax. Oh, TURAL may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Buffiswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
Sure do. Adventure!
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kettenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of TURAL.
Yeah, that's the twins' father. He's too cool to wave. Of course, Woklamad is at the front.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
Damn right, girl. Here we go. Yeah, Wilcomot seems like an interesting character also in the sense that she's very eager to show her strength and, you know, love of adventure, but we've also seen glimpses of her being a little unsure of herself. You know, and I love good character flaws. That means more development. It's also wild to me that the developers basically have all this planned out. And like, from what I understand, they've got future expansions planned out. And what I mean is that they've done so much world building that they've already made like the new locations. We just haven't gone there yet, but we will in the future, presumably. And that's just so cool to me.
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
Your voice does not match your appearance.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew TURAL was far, but it's another thing to really know.
Nod? Yeah. We nod a lot, just letting you know.
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about TURAL and the right of succession. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own.
Sure, yeah, let's get a little more background on TURAL, see what we're getting ourselves into.
Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
I also love that Kryl is getting her own, you know, quest line. She's looking for her grandfather, or rather like, you know, what he left behind. Okay. I wonder if we can go up here. Yes, we can. Yeah, and you don't have to worry about falling. There is no, you can't really fall off edges and stuff. You can take fall damage from certain heights, but very rarely will it kill you. Okay. Fontaine. Oh, this will be my first visit to TURAL. Fontaine is the name. I was working at Estame's Aesthetics in Ul'dah, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlian, in the hopes of starting over. While I was attempting, and failing, to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger has suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawn Servant welcomes all regardless of origin, and so TURAL seemed like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully, things will be better this time. Alright, yeah, you're closer. Burly Adventurer. My story? Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Ketan Ram, you know, the first Eorzean to set foot on TURAL almost 80 years ago. The Mamujah's leader is said to have welcomed Ketan Ram with open arms, and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back: potatoes, tomatoes, and corn, which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to a culinary revolution. The tales say Ketenram returned to TURAL several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is testimony to the ocean's peril. Alright, retired mercenary. I see you in Eorzea before. You, great and famous hero. Gah, I've had enough of playing the simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to TURAL, it's become impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen, and so we head home to lick our wounds. Okay. Self-assured trader. An adventurer, I presume. I'm a merchant myself, based in Ul'dah. Specialty imports and exports Eorzean and Turali both. If this is your first crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It is not uncommon for the various races to be referred to instead by the names of certain clans. For the Mikote, the Hetzaro, the Hrothgar, the Shbural? Not because every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. A fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offense. Okay, so, yeah, we've got a diverse group of people in the same clan, I think? Swarthy Sailor. Did you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who'll be sat next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants in the rite of passage, your young Wook Lamont being one of them, of course. But from what a Mamouja bloke was telling us, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the third promise. Okay, now we speak to Cryo. There you are. Oh, whoops. Still getting, my bearings. Did you learn anything of interest? Oh, I hadn't heard that about the clan names. We should have Wook Lamont and Erenville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
Oh, seasick. Take some Dramamine.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick.
Yeah, see, she's someone who, like, she's very proud, right? She has a lot of pride, so she doesn't want to appear weak to people.
I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Okay,
Isn't
sweetie.
that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in TURAL, yes? Do many Viera live there?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
Oh.
Oh dear.
Only elders have watch! This wind's too strong to take in your I'm falling off the mast! We need help! Get in below decks first! Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
So will this be our first combat?
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself.
Good thinking, Odd.
Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
Ooh.
What an extraordinary life she must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
Damn right. Yeah, forget that they have advanced technology like that.
Threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress.
Oh, pobrecita.
By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of TURAL. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Okay, looks like the storm is over. I hope those tables and stools are bolted down. Land ho! Land ho! Pretty. I don't see land yet.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground.
Oh, by the way, she's a Hrothgar. Basically, another kind of cat person because you also have the Mikote. But the Hrothgar are bigger and burlier. And with the Dawntrail expansion, you can now be a female Hrothgar. So that's cool.
Ugh. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Boobies.
Seabirds.
Blue-footed boobies.
Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Also, the voice acting has significantly improved with this game because from the very beginning in A Realm Reborn, the voice acting was lacking. And And it wasn't until the first expansion, Heaven's Ward, where they hired different actors, essentially. And they're just much better. And they've been voicing the characters ever since.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchor some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway.
SpongeBob, me boy!
If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down.
Oh? Uh-oh.
Easy, stomach. Easy.
Yeah. She also can't handle spicy foods, although she'll pretend that she can.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Let's. Yes, let us all nod our heads. Nod your head like this. Let me see you nod your head like this. Oh. Water. That's a good sign. Very clear, very blue, very pretty. Dun, dun, dun.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
I think that line is from the trailer.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Yeah, they're reenacting the trailer, but with the in-game models rather than like a, fully pre-rendered CGI cutscene.
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
Adventure! Also, that's a big-ass axe.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, TURAL.
There she blows! I'm really excited. And title card. Dawntrail. Very cool. God, so pretty. Tuliola's. So I assume this will be our main hub. I already see a crystal. I wasn't expecting jazz. There it is. God, so vibrant, so colorful. It's also a nice change of pace. The color palette, I mean, because Endwalker, depending where you went, but many of the places like took place on the moon and outer space. Charlian, which is like all white.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tulihyolal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out, or...?
Yeah, she's very much about the paperwork of things.
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Of course, Woklamat doesn't do forms. Hmm.
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
I mean, are they gonna be mean to us?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tulihyolal?
You are not wanted here! Away! Away!
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Hmm.
Please, accept our apologies.
That's more like it.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Also, the graphics and the character models got a revamp, and they look incredible.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first.
Food, maybe? I would be starving.
I bid you welcome to Tulihyolal.
Point me to the tacos. They're actually going to be tacos. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So many people here. Yeah, other players, you know, just getting started as well. Alright, so I guess we got a jazzy tune for Tulihyolal. I was not expecting that. But then again, this game has such a wide variety of music and stuff. Okay, let's go to Aaronville. Right there. Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. And our first quest is complete. You have arrived in Tulihyolal. You can return to the city at any time by speaking with the Swarthy Sail in Scholar's Harbor and Old Charlene. Alright. And somebody over here. Oh my god, there are a lot of you. I guess we're talking to Woklamat. Just gotta highlight there. While being on solid ground has improved Woklamat's mood, her stomach appears to be lagging behind. Right then, first things first. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the rite of succession begins. Good idea, Aaronville. No arguments here. I should very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? Aha! We were wondering who these strange folk were, so the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Wuklamot, are you unwell? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick. No, sir. Oh. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me win the right of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please, don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. They did have a point. Wuklamot is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean technically? I suggest we move in 2 groups so as to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me then. Odd, you and Cryle can come with me. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have time enough for that. Enjoy your wanderings. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Wuklamot's nausea subsides? No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Ugh. Alright, let's see what she has to say. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself, what with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Erenville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the river from inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from TURAL, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stalls in the neighboring markets. Speaking of which, XIV should be our next stop. Okay, so now they're accompanying me. Keep an eye on your side in order to proceed. Got it. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering into the area or speaking. Yeah, okay, so this hasn't changed from Endwalker. So you can have, some NPCs accompany you sometimes. Yeah, and then you can get more lore by going to these markers and then talking to the characters, and they'll share their observations or their knowledge of things. Alright. Where to? So, we'll go this way. Where's the sprint button? There. Alright, so first stop here. Let's talk to... This is XIV, TURAL's largest marketplace. Being right on the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares go directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh right, I should mention that here in TURAL we buy things with Pel, a currency that the Belu created. But don't worry, more and more trade is coming in from Eorzea, so most shops are happy to accept your gil. Okay, so not all places will accept gil, got it, and gil is the main currency of the game. There's also Wachumeki, another market to the east of here, but that can wait for another time. I have other places I want to show you first. Next we'll head back a bit, then northwards up the stairs to a certain plaza. I can't wait to see the look on your faces. Okay, next. Let's Let's follow this here. Okay, and then we can activate that crystal. Wow. What do you think of that, eh? Goodness me, you have Aetherites in TURAL? That's a better view, I guess. I think I told you before, but my brother, Koana, spent 3 years studying in Charlian. He fell in love with the nation and its ways, and brought back to us the knowledge of Aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once, had one built immediately. Did you do the attuning thing? If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the side. Right at the top is the gate which leads to TURAL. Let's make a stop at Bright Plume Post on the way, though. That's the headquarters for the Landsguard. Alright, so let's go attune with this baby, so that we can teleport back here when we have to. I feel like I'm in a Pixar movie with this music. Alright, next. Well, that's a conversation point there. Yeah, and then we'll have to go around and activate these Aetherites as well. They're like mini Aetherites. Oh, we can go up there. Okay, so we're gonna go downstairs. And yeah, I see a conversation point. Alright, we can talk to both of them now. Discuss TURAL's elevation. We have a lot of narrow, winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, though, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. Yeah, I wonder how they get up here. It's quite steep. Anything else? Okay, that's it. Oh, and as you can see, we have Torgal Pup. There was recently a collaboration with Final Fantasy XIV and 16, so you were able to meet Clive, you know, the protagonist of 16. And by doing that, you get Torgal as a companion, also as a mount, and you also get Clive's outfit. Alright, Cryo, what do you have to say? Elevation. Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand now where Wuklamut gets her endless endurance. Okay, moving on. Yeah, and of course, this being a city hub, we can't use our mount. It would be much easier, but at least we get a nice view of everything. Man, this is gorgeous. Here we are, Bright Plume Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending TURAL and preserving the peace. The Landsguard are led by our nation's strongest warrior, and so naturally, Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago, when Zoral Ja took over as commander. The title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Okay, so what I'm gathering is Wuklamut is also known as the third promise, so I assume that that's like a ranking in the royalty. So there's a first promise, and I assume a second promise. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to... Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alphinaud and Alizé should be around to hear it too. I have a feeling that she feels insecure comparing herself to her brothers, who she probably thinks have done way more than she has, and so she's determined to prove herself. God, I love her character. Come on, it's time I showed you the Skygate. It's right at the northern end of Talon March. Alright. Which is where? Okay. Up here. Down. Also, like, with this being inspired by the Americas and the jazz music, it also reminds me of The Emperor's New Groove. One of my favorite movies of all time. Is that a door? Massive, isn't it? Yeah. And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yokhui. Strictly speaking, TURAL is actually two separate continents, Tural, the southern lands of the mother, and Tural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long, long ago, the two gods fought a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. A familiar sounding tale, I'm put in mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiar. But getting back to Tural, those lands are also part of the TURAL nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the peoples of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of TURAL had been at war for generations. It was only when Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. Yeah, it's obvious that she has a lot of respect for her father. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Oh, don't say that. Crossing the bridge to Tural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the rite of succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. I'll hold you to that, then I'll make sure you win, mark my words. I'll hold you to that. I've never broken my word. Once the throne is mine, that travel permit is yours. Cool. Alright, and then we can finish up the quest. We must have covered half the city by now. Did we? I feel like we barely saw it. TURAL is unlike any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. What did I get here? Mountain Chromite Weapon Coffer. Ooh. Let's check that out. I hope they fix the storage issue. Final Fantasy XIV also has excellent quality of life options, so basically stuff that makes it easier for the player. So for example, if you have better equipment in your inventory, then you can come to this menu and it'll automatically equip the highest levels, which is super helpful. And you can use something called Glamour that changes the appearance of your items and your clothes. So you can still have the stats that you want and look the way you want. That's really cool. Okay, next let's talk to Wuklamot again. Wuklamot is ready to commence the second half of your TURAL tour, the City of Stairs. We'll head west next, towards the Arch of the Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? I don't know what that is. TURAL certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. We get by. Now, if you've seen enough of this area, let me know, and we'll continue on. The Arch of the Dawn is on the other side of the city, so speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk. Okay, you're now accompanying me again. Got it. I also love that you hear different variations of the theme song for whatever expansion you're currently playing. So this is a jazz rendition of the Dawntrail theme, which I love. Hey, is that a Fall Guys outfit? Yeah, also Square Enix recently announced a partnership with Fall Guys, so you can technically play Fall Guys in Final Fantasy XIV. I haven't done it myself, but it sounds fun. There's a lot of content I have not done myself in this game. It's just so massive. I tend to stick mostly to the main story and certain side quests that interest me, but we'll get to that. Krile? I'm still struggling to conceive how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of a Yokhui temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Tural, to appease the god who slumbers in the great ocean trench. After the Yokhui withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries, so when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the center of TURAL. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in TURAL. Oh, so you can probably buy houses here as well. Buy a house here. You can buy a house for yourself, super expensive though, and hard to get, just like real life. We climb these sets of stairs here, all the way up. Also, I'm really happy to have an auto run feature. I think most MMOs have that anyway. And something else is that I always encourage people to play this game for themselves. And there's that meme, that's true, that you can play up to level, I think it's up to level 70 now, so I think you can now play the game for free up to the end of the second expansion. I could be wrong on that, but check that out. But anyway, I highly recommend it for people. At the same time, I understand criticisms of the subscription model. You know, you have to pay monthly to play this game, which personally, I don't think it should be that way. I think you should just pay for a game once and then have access to it, you know. I think Elder Scrolls Online does that, but anyway. Criticisms aside, it's still one of my favorite games, and if you're able to play it, I highly recommend you do. Okay, Oklamat. Discuss the palace. Papa's palace is called Volok Shunsa, which roughly translates to Invincible Resilience. Hey, resilience. I love that word. I have a tattoo of it. You probably want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. Alright, and then Kyle. The sheer scale of this place is incredible. I wonder what that carving at the top represents. Don't know which one you mean, but yeah, we'll find out. Also, I love that this game has dynamic day-night cycle. So like it just becomes day and night at certain times. And it carries over into certain cutscenes as well. Sometimes I like to turn off this option to remove the HUD and just take stuff in. And for this character, like you saw, I am primarily a paladin, which is what you evolve into when you start as a gladiator. I also have stats in Dark Knight, which is really cool too. And both of those are tank classes, and I just love it. I love being a tank. Cryo, trying to get the cryo. Oh my god. There we go. So, this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Oh, we have residents from all the Yogg-Tural clans. Mamusha, Shbral, Belu-Belu, Moblin, Hanu-Hanu. We also have Tonawata, Hetsaro, and Shitona, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Yogg-Tural. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of TURAL. A true representation of TURAL's diverse character, the adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's also beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come, we continue down the stairs. You got it. I'm also excited to see what new mounts we get in this expansion. Discuss the huge drum. Drum? Oh, that must be it. That big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Landsguard's return from a dangerous duty. Duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin. Earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. Oh, she must have been, little. Alright, Cryo? I've never seen such an enormous drum. What would one even use to beat such an instrument? Good question. Then... oh, alpacas! We got alpacas! Actually, speaking of alpacas, another YouTuber I recommend for all Final Fantasy XIV stuff is Alpaca Lips. I particularly love their story recaps using cat memes. So they're short videos and they'll give you the gist of the story of each expansion with cat memes. It's awesome. Alright, let's see what you have to say. Welcome. If it's an alpaca you need, then look no further. Before we get you saddled up, I'll need to add your name to our register. It'll make things smoother the next time you need a ride. Okay. I'm afraid I can't lend you an alpaca if you can't tell me where you're heading. Each alpaca stop offers several different routes, however, you may only select routes leading to destinations to which you have previously traveled. If you have not visited any of the locations accessible from this one, the service will be unavailable. Okay. And here are our dirigibles. Not bad, eh? Still not sure what a dirigible is. I know something about transport. It's music. I hear other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in TURAL. Are they like hot air balloons? We have them for the exact same reason as the Aetherites. Koana brought back the plans from Charlian, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Since that time, we've added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Arch of the Dawn awaits. Alright. Also, the composer, Masayoshi Soken, is a legendary composer. He's just incredible. I can't explain it. Maybe because it reminds me of... This is going to sound strange, but I think the music and being in a new place reminds me of Disney World. I've been there many times since I was a kid, and I don't know, like, this place, this music is making me feel nostalgic right now. This is it, the Arch of the Dawn. When the Giants were still here, it was known as the TURAL Land Gate, but when Papa founded TURAL, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Through this gate is Kozamuluka, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the right of succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Kozamuluka. The name alone is intriguing. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? Oh, the alpacas? They're so cute. Ah, those are alpacas. Fearsome, four-legged fiends. I don't know about fearsome. I mean, they might be. I don't know. Maybe they bite. Fearsome, they seem quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Kryl. You'll learn soon enough. Maybe she was bit as a child or something. But forget the alpacas. Fuck the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. That was an okay moment. Alright. Woklama is this direction. Yeah. Yeah, see, we can clear the HUD and makes things a little more manageable. Okay. Just look for the big axe there. And then here. If you wish to learn the history of TURAL, then look no further. These stone pillars, you mean? A saga in stone. Alright, talk to Kryl. Kryl regards stone pillars curiously. What is special about these pillars, if I may ask? At a glance, they might look like ordinary stone decorations. But if you take a really good look, you'll see there's something much more interesting. Can't even see Woklamat with all the players here. Okay. I guess we gotta interact with one of them. Oh wait. Yeah, see. Right. They're standing on it, but there's... Yeah, here. Destination. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending Duty Finder registrations. Hey, Duty Finder is signing up for a dungeon or a raid to do with other players, or yourself. Inspect the stone pillars. Yes. Sí, por favor. It's gorgeous. I would love to visit, different countries in the Americas, learn about their history and culture, the indigenous ones. Okay, so they all appear to have different engravings. Pictures? Wait, no, these are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed Mamuja. Oh, then this must be... That's right. It follows the exploits of my father, Gulul Jaja, and his journey to unite our lands. We call it the Tuliolal Saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn how Tuliolal came to be. Study them as long as you like. I wonder how many there are. Oh, okay. Yeah, I count 8. Okay, Lay of the Brotherhood. This pillar tells the Lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer, Ket something. I can never remember the name. You mean Ketenram? Ah, that's the one. Ketenram's arrival in TURAL is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit if not in blood, but no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Ketenram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzea as well. The records say he traveled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it's assumed he was lost at sea. Okay. It's nice that they added checkmark. Lay of Reeds. Here we have the Lay of Reeds. This is the story of when Papa visited the Hanu in their village in Kozamauka. Ah, the people often though almost mistook for Vanu if not for the colorful plumage. He spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so it's no surprise he took an interest in your countrymen. Yeah, I think the Sea of Clouds is from Heaven's Ward, I think. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are a bright and cheerful sort. They hold this one festival every year, very famous, and a lot of fun. Okay. Book Lamont, we can talk to her, I guess? The 4 stones closest to us cover the first half of Papa's travels. Let's start with those. Okay. So we'll do these 4 first. Lay of Pots. Let's see. This one is the Lay of Pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozamauka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silverwork they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Yeah, I mean, from the description it sounds like they're goblins, but here they're called moblins. Clearly, the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts. Lay of Repast. This one recounts the Lay of Repast. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of the Shadral, like me. For decades, the Shadral and the Mamuja were at war for control of the forest of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end that conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tuliolal. There is a clan of Hrothgar in Bozja known as Helions. In their society, the women rule as queens, and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yeah, I can get behind that, yeah. Yet here in TURAL, Shparal men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatically culture can vary with location. This is the future liberals want. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. Yeah. Okay. Lay of Gold. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Belu whose homeland is in Urkopacha. Having created our currency, the Belu are rightfully known as the Merchant Clan. They oversee Tuliolal's markets, and their traveling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in TURAL. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks they are clever and calculating traders. Kind of like the Lalafels in Ul'dah. Lay of Ice. Oh, this one is my favorite. The Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle with the legendary TURAL Vidral Valigarmanda. I should explain. A TURAL Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakens to preternatural power. Totaro described the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomenon? Valigarmanda itself was dubbed the Sky Ruin, a name earned for the destruction and terror it visited upon TURAL every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 years or so ago, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Urcopacha Mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valigarmanda is also a symbol of power. That's why you'll see its likeness on Tuliyolal's national emblem and adorning the banners at the palace. Cool. Can't wait to see it. Blank pillar. Oh, this one is unmarked. Papa says he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliyolal's history, whatever that might be. That's cool. Maybe Woklamat's story. Lay of Proof. Ah, the Lay of Proof. That big fellow is of the Yokhui, the largest of TURAL's peoples. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish a dominion encompassing all of Yok-TURAL. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Shak-TURAL. You'll recall that massive bridge they built beyond the Sky Gate. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they'd conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Urcopacha. I've never even seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their place in Turali history? Yeah, intriguing. How do you feel of history, then? Yes, thank you. Glad to hear it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprises there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while, but now I think I'm ready to eat again. Yes, food! So let's go and have ourselves a bite of a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. Yeah, I see an Ethernet shard over there. Okay. Have you ever had tacos? Yes! Oh man, I've been excited about this. We know that Grahatia is gonna appear, and in the trailer, like, he just takes a big bite out of a taco and it just looks so good. I love him because he just loves food, like me. Anyway, they're a Tuli Yolal classic. You bake a crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. Corn flour, I think, is also gluten-free, as opposed to tortilla, I think. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, but I like how they're made here at Shbalyav Tie. Best. Shbalyav Tie. And I need one right in front of me, right now. Let's head downstairs and place an order with old Brooke Evu. Alright, downstairs then. Tacos! Tacos! The taco quest. Ooh, busy. Everybody wants tacos. Alright. Are those chips? Salsa? Oh my god, yes! God, I'm so hungry right now. Alright.
Brook Evo! My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
No, I couldn't just have one. I need like at least 3 to 5.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Anybody who feeds me is automatically my friend.
Did you hear the silver scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
Interesting.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned this before, but the Golden City being inspired by the mythical city of El Dorado, which is part of the culture and mythology of the Muisca people, also known as the Chibcha, in present-day Colombia.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
It's probably very real indeed.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils.
You know, I don't mind crunchy taco shells, but I prefer soft. Oh. Are these the giant people that she mentioned? No! The tacos! Oh, you got 2 heads.
If it isn't the third promise.
You look really cool, but also, you're an asshole.
Oh, no.
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us! Such an honor.
Glory on your name, brother.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling housecut, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
Oh, I can't wait to kick your ass.
All peoples are equal in Tulihyolal. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Yeah, so they're supremacists.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
They're the school bully.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Yeah.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Pathetic.
Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
No, Crow can handle herself, I'm sure. Do your Pictomancer stuff. Oh, okay, well, they're gone now. You'll get your chance later, I'm sure.
A two-headed mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in TURAL, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo,
Taco.
the Bunewa, and the Dopro.
They're so cool looking. All of them.
Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos.
Yeah.
I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Honestly, we shouldn't even have to pay for the tacos. Like, that wasn't our fault. Earpiece.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest.
Have you
As
tried
such,
the
we're ready to
tacos?
present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
The palace it is. I'll let Wuklamart know.
No, but can we have tacos first, please?
Destiny calls.
No,
Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
I want tacos now.
So it goes.
No. Take it to go. Like, just eat it on the way. What are you doing? Duty calls, I guess. I was looking forward to trying some authentic TURAL cuisine. We should hurry and join Alphino and the others at the palace. Cryo, like, we shouldn't be running around and fighting and all that on an empty stomach. I'm sure Wuklamot would agree with me. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter, or even the eastern side of Talon March if you prefer. Now you have an idea of how the city's laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Valak Shunsa. Yeah, I think we have the shard unlocked for that. Ah, my poor empty belly. I hear you, girl, I hear you. So let's head on over to Valak Shunsa. Okay, and we just need one more Ethernet shard, and we've got the entire city. Ooh, big doors. Gorgeous. Alright. This should be it. When you see like a crowd of people like this is likely something important. My god. Okay, found you. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. And we get chest gear. Alright. Upon speaking to Aaronville, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Yeah, I think we can go through these cutscenes and then wrap up the episode. Aaronville has been patiently waiting for your arrival. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. Yeah, I mean, that's ADHD for you. 'Twas like herding a pair of unruly curls. Oh, Aaronville. I understand all too well. Charlian had the same effect on me. Right then. Now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Here, clinging, clanging. Oh, Estinian. Must be a sparring match.
Estinian? When did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man?
Oh yeah, we do.
Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
That's your father?
That would do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter.
Oh, I didn't expect that. I expected him to be a Hrothgar also. Interesting. Yeah, Estinian is a fan favorite, by the way. You know, the bad boy
You
type.
are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
I think he has a second head also, but it's covered.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
Oh, is that me? That's me.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit TURAL.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
Yeah, just on a whim, you know.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
Oh, so the other head was sleeping.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
That's fascinating.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solanash.
It's Erenville now, Don Servant.
Oh, he changed his name. Probably wants to
Took the
distance
name while
himself.
abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Yeah, probably wants to distance himself from his homeland. Interesting.
Erenville, then. And these others?
I assume our Lamatis recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered still. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
I wonder who the voice actor is. They sound kind of familiar.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends.
Yeah, see you around, Estinian. Enjoy your brooding. To be fair, he has lightened up more throughout the story. The other challengers, I presume?
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja.
The first promise?
The second promise, Gona.
Oh wait, is that Wuklamot's brother? I guess we'll find out.
The third promise, Wuklamot.
And you.
And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja.
Was that a yawn?
You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away, and it is time I yield my position.
Time to retire, huh?
But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young, and so I look to the always for inspiration. The right of succession, the means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulcha at all. So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
What's so funny?
You have us to compete against. Though it seems the one head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Yeah, I think you're all talk.
Our brother was in shock TURAL leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a TURAL Vidral. Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Wait, so are all of these, the children, they're all siblings?
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of TURAL and find the City of Gold.
The Road to El Dorado. Let's do it. I love that movie, by the way.
If I may, Father.
I like your pistol.
Speak, Gona.
You must be a gunbreaker class, another tank.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Are you for us proof, my unbroken word? For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
I have 4 eyes right now.
The city's real. All those years.
And you were a skeptic.
This was before the founding of TURAL. I traveled the lands of TURAL with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place.
Where'd you come from? Didn't see you there. What do we got? The triumphant music. What you holding? Are they the same engravings as the stone pillars? They might be. Yeah, that's the ice one, I think. I remember that one.
Saga.
Yeah.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth.
And then there's also that blank slate for somebody else to write a new story.
Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
I wonder if this is like a rat race situation where like the first to get there wins or something. I guess we'll see.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
Yeah, it makes sense. Might as well make it fun.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja as successor and be done with it.
The rite of cessation begins now. I'll be watching your progress with great interest.
Just stared at him and... So anyway, that was great.
And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
So do we all get like the same tablets or...
of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Cryle Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Oh, she's probably going to ask about her grandfather.
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring.
Yeah, I thought that was the earring. It's kind of cute that she decided to wear it.
A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here.
Was he Irish?
On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time.
Why not?
I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the right of succession.
Oh, so her grandfather must have learned something that would give them an advantage in this. Interesting. Poor Cryle, though.
But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
I hope you don't die before then.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City. Thank you for hearing my petition.
Well, it seems like that's enough for her for now.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Oh. I really hope there's not like a... I really hope there's not like a messed up twist, you know, that, you know, secretly evil or something like that.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this?
Yeah, he's not really into this for some reason.
Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm.
I came because I wanted to, okay?
Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Nah, I'd win. Graha.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road.
I swear on my life, I will get you your taco. I swear.
But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it.
He's also one of my favorite characters.
Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I want to see where this journey leads. I've made my decision and I mean to see it through. Yeah, that's pretty final and direct. I paid money for this expansion, and I'm going to see it through, Aaronville. I paid good money for it.
So?
Yes.
I will speak no more of it then.
Thank you.
As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
I also love his design, just so cool looking.
Here they come! It's Zeralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
Man, a few words, too. Can I get your autograph?
Our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please.
Yeah, I don't have a gauge on his character, so I don't know. I don't know what his personality is like or his motives and stuff.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The Resilion son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
I mean, he could have told him himself, but okay. Also, your waist, wow. Okay, you could have just said so yourself.
Zeralja,
Maybe it was a power
the
play.
first promise and commander of the Landsguard. Zeralja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Zeralja is indeed the natural child of Gurul Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Zeralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
Okay, so Zoroja must be a biological child. Okay. I'll try to remember these names best I can.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists.
Colonizing, huh?
This puts him in direct opposition to Uklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Zeralja, the warmonger.
Ooh. War bad.
Kryl, are you alright?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Zeralja's ambitions.
Oh dear.
Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Oh, Kryl. That's awful. Koana. Can I get your autograph?
You must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
You look like a duck.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
That's good. Embrace the
You
new.
have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the rite of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant.
Fair enough.
If you will excuse me. Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
I like that we're also getting a gauge on everyone's personality. Quana is more
Here we
pragmatic.
have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studium.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
And then this asshole. I hope nobody comes to ask for help or something.
To cheer the lesser claimants.
Yeah, okay. You saw that?
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyola. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your deity.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliolal. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself.
Yeah, really. He only thinks about himself.
But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Down with the bourgeoisie!
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
So we have a supremacist and we have a warmonger who we cannot allow to win. Hey, and there's Wuklamat. She likes tacos. Did everyone leave her?
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Yeah, she would be awesome.
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era.
Among us.
They are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies. It's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid.
Aw.
She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
We'll take very good care of her.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Yeah, so she feels like she has
Compared
more
to
to prove
Mulja,
to
she
others.
pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
Oh.
It's
So she...
fine. More than anyone. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Yeah, that explains her insecurities and her drive to appear strong and capable, you know, which I know she is, but she needs to learn that about herself.
Better? Wuklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling.
Damn right.
Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Yeah. Everyone has their strengths.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
I love how the characters wave in this game. Alright, so the adventure begins. Another adventure, I should say. Okay, all the cutscenes done. Let's see if well, let's see what you have to say before we wrap up. Well, so much for the brief union I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the TURAL saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea. Let's go and take a look. Alright everyone, so that's going to wrap up our first episode of Dawntrail. I'm super excited to see where we go from here. I'm going to try to keep these videos around the 90-minute mark, but you know, with the nature of this game, there are lots of cutscenes and a lot of reading, and I always try to end it on, you know, an appropriate ending so that we have something to look forward to at the start of the next episode. But thank you so much for being here with me. I'm excited to start this adventure with you all. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe for more. Remember to save your progress, and I will see you in the next video.